Hey guys, it's QuickyBaby and welcome back to World of Tanks, and I've got another prize winner in the 300,000 subscriber replay competition for you. Congratulations to the TheEagleSword for his prize winning game in the M44, this tier 6 American self-propelled gun. And now guys and girls, put down your pitchforks, artillery is a class 2, and hopefully by the end of this video, maybe you'll feel like I did that this thoroughly deserves winning a prize in this competition. So the TheEagleSword definitely isn't in the best matchup here. There are a handful of tier 6s at the bottom, a glut of tier 7s, and then 4 top tier vehicles, including a self-propelled gun, the GW Tiger Pig, as I like to call it. So, matchup not doing too good for him here. Now, one thing you might be noticing with the TheEagleSword's ammo loadout at the bottom is that this vehicle can carry a huge amount of ammunition. It carries, it's at 36 155mm shells, capable of doing 700 alpha damage. These are premium shells, by the way. These are heat rounds, 240 penetration, and then there's high explosive rounds on this tank as well, with 78mm of penetration, but a 3.78 meter burst radius. So obviously, with the heat rounds, you either do the damage or you don't. There's no halfway mark. But when the TheEagleSword decides to fire high explosive rounds, that means that he can afford to splash near his target and still do some damage. And obviously with the lower penetration on high explosive rounds, if they don't manage to penetrate the target, they still do some splash damage. The TheEagleSword is going to blind fire his first heat round of the game at a Tiger P. Unfortunately, he doesn't manage to hit it. Ouch! Every single one of these shells is a rather expensive affair, as we're going to see towards the end of the round. But now, look at this. This tier 6 Japanese heavy tank is rolling into the town. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, God. Ouch! 733 damage done with the initial impact, followed by a fire and what looked like a premium fire extinguisher putting out the blaze. 767 damage total, including the module damage done with that shot. Now, this Tiger seems to be sitting still. What are you doing? Oh my word, 704 damage right there. Brutal stuff. 2 out of 3 hits so far. Now he's aiming at a T-34. Now he's going to try and target this IS-6, this top-tier Soviet heavy tank. We hear the heat round hit the tank, but unfortunately it gets absorbed by the tracks. Remember that heat rounds do very, very, very badly against spaced armor, and tracks do counter spaced armor on the side of your vehicle. Can he hit his second shell instead? Oh gosh, it hits the vehicle flush right in the side, but unable to penetrate the very nice side armor on the IS-6 with the 240mm of penetration that he gets. Now he's going to take a swing at this T-34. This tier 8 American heavy tank must be sweating, or at least the TheEagleSword must be sweating away. Looks like it hits. Will the T-34 have lower health when he's spotted? Oh yes, he will. Gosh, that must have done anywhere in the region of 700 damage average to that tier 8 American heavy tank. Now TheEagleSword is going to have his third swipe at an IS-6. This time it flies true right into the top of the tank, doing a high roll of 873. The TheEagleSword is ripping apart the enemy heavy tanks in this town, doing a great roll for his team. He's done about 3,000 damage so far, if you also include the blind fire that went into the T-34.
Enemy armor is destroyed.
Well, make that his first kill in about, 3,300 damage roughly in this game. Now he's going to take a swing at the Tiger P. There's this blind tank that he fired at earlier, obviously unable to hit him as we saw the shell hit the ground. This time, the shell disappears, and with a combined impact of the GW Tiger Pig on his team as well, they take down that tier 7 German heavy tank. Okay, maybe I can have a moment to talk about what's actually happening in this round now. Can I have that, TheEagleSword? Are you done ripping apart the enemy team with your self-propelled gun so far? So the enemy are trying to push through the southern flank, and there's only this half-health Tiger P really holding back a multitude of enemy vehicles on the enemy team, including this T-29. That is a nasty tank, one of the most powerful tanks tier for tier in the game, in my opinion. And the TheEagleSword Fires just a little bit too lax there. He didn't fully aim the shot, and his lead was not sufficient. The T-29 would have been able to get out of the way of the round there. Nevertheless, one missed shot out of God knows how many he's fired so far. That's not bad. Tries to fire blind again at the Tiger P, taking his chances, although this one doesn't go in. The T-150 on his team is managing to get some vision. And here is a Tier 6 German medium tank, the VK3001P, trying to rush into the base. He's got to try and take out that VK from stopping him from getting closer, where he'll spot him.
Enemy vehicle destroyed.
One shot's an equal tier German medium tank for 710 damage. And the rate of fire on this gun it's rather nice indeed. I believe this vehicle, the M44, has the second lowest alpha damage of any of the tier 6 self-propelled guns, but also the second best rate of fire.
Enemy vehicle destroyed.
As he slam dunks the front of that Jagdtiger 88 for 679 damage. And also, that's his third kill of the game. And LIVESTREAM is trying to do a mission in this vehicle, although you can't see it there. I believe his mission was to get 3 kills and also do over 4,000 damage. Well, he's knocked that out of the ballpark, as he's probably up to about 5,700 damage so far, and a third kill as he puts a big hit into the T-29. Can he find the finishing shot? Oh, it hits the VK3001P, the wreck that he caused earlier, but now he loads a high explosive shell. Good choice. When the T-29 is on low health, you don't need to hit him with a heat round and go for that 700 alpha damage roll. All you need to do is splash just near him or even land anywhere on his vehicle, and the high explosive round will take him out the game. Wow. The LIVESTREAM is probably the only person, I'd say, keeping his team in this round of World of Tanks right now. That southern flank would have been an absolute disaster, and it's a miracle that the West was not won by his team, considering how much punishment he put on the enemy team. He fires one blind. It hits! It hits the SU-152, and I'll talk about something that goes on in the chat right now. The LIVESTREAM says to his team, SU should be hit, I think. And then, moments later, in all chat, the SU-152 mutters disgruntled words towards the LIVESTREAM. So the IS-6 on the LIVESTRAM's team said, yes, you did, ha 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 ha, considering that the SU just told them that he had been hit. Bad play there by the SU. It's giving the enemy that little bit of extra information, basically saying that I've got about 100 health left now because you've taken about 700 away from me. So that, you shouldn't really give the enemy that kind of information in World of Tanks. Try and think before you speak. But I could understand the frustration of getting hit. But the LIVESTRAM is on a roll here. But even with the 4 kills and probably 6,000 damage that he's been able to do so far this game, it's still neck and neck. In fact, the enemy team are slightly up when you consider that they've got an entire extra tank left available, or at least one self-propelled gun. They don't actually have an extra tank. It's equal on tanks. So the LIVESTRAM zeroes in on this tier 6 German heavy tank, the VK36001H, but he's unable to hit him. Now he loads another high explosive round. Right choice. You don't need a heat round when tanks are on that low health. And we can see just how much that SU-152 took from that heat shell that hit his tank earlier. The LIVESTRAM tries to find a shot on the SU, unable to do so, instead takes a punt at the VK.
Enemy vehicle destroyed.
Great blind shot, hitting him flush, taking out that vehicle that could be pressuring the 06 on his team. But now a contender approaches the LIVESTRAM's base. This is where the going starts to get tough. Remember, self-propelled guns have got very low health, and that KV-85 could take multiple high explosive shells. But he can only take one heat shell, probably, from the LIVESTRAM here. He's got 427 hit points. How is LIVESTRAM going to deal with this situation? There are also 2 self-propelled guns on the enemy team that LIVESTRAM has to has to watch out for. He decides to not wait, go round the corner. Oh god, oh god. Oh my word! The heat round going into the front of the KV-85, taking him out. Can he avoid the artillery shells? Quickly gets behind a building, narrowly avoids the artillery hit. Probably that was the kind of caliber that you get from a GW Tiger P on the enemy team. great stuff there. So the Eagle Sword races forwards. I guess he was trying to help out the OI on his team and also worried that the artillery might be able to get him. And now he decides that it's time to go TD mode. He's going to be going against an Su-152, the Tier 7 Soviet tank destroyer, which has got a monstrous gun. He's using the stock gun, the 152mm gun on that vehicle. As we saw earlier, that means that all he has to do is to splash anywhere near the Eagle Sword to be able to take him out. We saw a tree fall that gave away the Su-152's position. The Eagle Sword spots him and decides to pull back. Now he's in a really awkward situation where there are 2 artillery on the enemy team, but hopefully this the T-150 should be able to take the southern flank. The Eagle Sword, however, decides that it's time to go. That was pretty poor play, if I'm honest with you, buddy, but maybe you thought this was the only way that you were going to be able to win this game. The Eagle Sword says, well, I tried. I think you could have been more sneaky here. Maybe you didn't think that the T-150 was going to be able to take out these 2 self-propelled guns, and you decided that you had to go against the Su-152. Well, talking about T-150, he puts the first shot into the GW Tiger Pig on the enemy team. Can he finish him off with the second hit? Unfortunately, the T-150 is on 239 hit points, but on the move shuts down the Tier 8 German self-propelled gun on the enemy team, and the M44 narrowly misses. Now, will the Su-152 go and cap? If he does, he'll win the game guaranteed. There's no way a T-150 will be able to get back in a minute and a half and be able to get the interrupt. And even if he was, he could set up an ambush to be able to shoot the T-150, and he's got a self-propelled gun on his team that could assist him. But it looks like the Su-152 has not gone towards the cap circle because he's not in it yet. And so that allows the T-150 on the Eagle Sword's team to get in the cap circle and start to put the pressure up on the enemy team. While you can't see it, one of the conditions for the Eagle Sword completing this mission, which I believe is self-propelled gun 7, is to also win. So I can imagine that the Eagle Sword was sitting on the edge of his seat, having done well above the 4,000 damage required, also picking up double the amount of kills that he needed, of 6 rather than 3, but he has to win this game to complete SPG 7. Will he be able to do it? This has got to be an anxious moment for him. So, what's the T-150's best bet now to be able to handle this situation? Well, he wants to stay still. When he's still, he's going to have his best camo rating, and hopefully now he'll be able to take out this Su-152. The heat shell whizzes over his tank. He's got a second chance. The M44 misses. There's 38 seconds left on the cap. What can this T-150 do? Where is the Su-152? Is he using bushes right now? No, he's hiding behind the building. The T-150 destroys his cover. And the Su-152 must be ready to take his shot now. He goes forwards through the building, narrowly misses, and the T-150 misses as well. The artillery hits his tank, putting him down to 6% of his hit points, 45 to be exact, and he shuts down the Su-152. Great result. And he's just got enough time to cap. When you look at the cap timers, 1 minute and 22 seconds needed to cap, and 1 minute 24 left. Oh no! The artillery puts in a game-changing shot. Now the T-150 no longer has the time to be able to cap. And so he has to find the self-propelled gun on the enemy team. Will he figure out what he has to do? Doesn't look like it. It looks like he still thinks he can cap. Yes, he's reversing. Oh, what a disaster. Unfortunately now, his team tell him, no time to cap. Go out. Go find him. You can't win to cap. But it's just a touch too late. And 20 seconds of the game run out. And unfortunately for the Eagle Sword, he doesn't get to complete his mission. And this game ends in a draw. What a crazy round of World of Tanks. The Eagle Sword went way above and beyond what I would expect of any Tier 6 vehicle in a matchup such as this. It's just a shame that I felt that you were a little overconfident at the end, and the Su-152 on the enemy team certainly did punish you for it. In retrospect, I strongly feel that you could have just hidden, possibly in some of the bushes located along here, or alternatively, waited for the Su-152 to start capping, and then sneak up into a location like here to be able to get an effective shot on him. I think if you'd done this, or alternatively if you'd simply run away and tried to assist the T-150 that was going to put pressure on the enemy base, you would have probably been able to win this game. But then again, if it had panned out for you and you had taken out the Su-152, this would have probably been a game of the ages for you, as we're going to see in the post-game stats. Probably one of the most painful draws I have ever seen for the LIVESTREAM. He got a Gauze medal for doing over 10 times the hit points of his vehicle in damage, a high caliber medal, and a top gun in this horrible matchup. To get the Gauze and the high caliber, he did 7,771 damage in a tier 6 self-propelled gun. Nearly 6 times what anyone else on his team was able to do, and more damage than the rest of his team combined, receiving 2,069 base experience points for this draw. After doing some research on the Replay's website, this is the highest damage game in any tier 6 vehicle ever by over an extra 1,600. And it's also the highest experience ever in a self-propelled gun. However, to be able to achieve this, the LIVESTREAM spent 101,000 credits on ammunition, making a loss this game, but I don't think you really care considering this set not 1 but 2 records. So for a replay of this caliber, I only thought it right to give LIVESTREAM a Type 62, considering that he should get out there and spot for other people and not just himself. However, I quickly noticed that he already has a Type 62, so instead I checked and he doesn't have a Cromwell Berlin, and so I'm going to be sending you that instead. And considering it seems like the regular Cromwell is your most played tank, with over 2,600 games, I expect you will be thrilled to pick up this no longer available premium vehicle. And just a massive thank you to you, TheEagleSword, for sending me this replay. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and hopefully you guys out there did as well. If you did, please consider giving this video a like down below. It really helps the channel out. And if this video has sparked your interest in tier 6 self-propelled guns, then simply click through up here and you can go through to the one and only FV304, picking up 12 kills in a single game by the coincidentally named Warpig 117. And I expect there's going to be a hell of a lot of drama in the comments down below, but I look forward to also seeing 1 or 2 constructive comments. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching. You've been epic, and hopefully I'll see you soon.